Okay, so if you're in sales, one of the biggest things that salespeople all struggle with is not asking for the sale. And they've run studies on this. I forget what the number is. It's something crazy, like 70% of salespeople just never ask for the sale. They just go in and they ask some questions. They present their product. They do a lot on presenting the product. And then after that, they kind of just trail off, and it's really up to the customer to either sell themselves and say, okay, well, how do I get started? Or typically the salesperson just doesn't have a lot of confidence in themselves and what they've presented. And like, okay, so maybe I'll follow up with you next week or maybe in 2 weeks. Would that be okay? Yeah, that's okay. Or you'll get the, well, you know what? Let me get back to you. Okay, so we want to try to avoid that. And how we do that is by getting into real communication and figuring out how the prospect actually feels about what you've talked about so far. And the best way to do that is with a trial close. A trial close is not necessarily asking for action, but it is gauging how the prospect, the person you're talking to, feels about the product. It's going to gauge like how warm they are. Do they think it's going to solve their problem? And really it's meant to either move the needle forward or bring up some concerns and objections, because you want objections. If there are some, you want them to come to the surface so you can handle them and have a chance at actually solving the objection for the prospect, so you both together can make sense of them making a decision and getting what they said that they already wanted. So here's some trial closes that you can use. If you're still with me, you're going to get the gold right here. Practice these. Use them on every deal, maybe in every call, depending on the industry. If you're more transactional or if it's a more complex selling environment, you still could use these in every call. You might have to get a little bit more creative because you're not always asking for a decision. You don't want to be repetitive. Anyway, here they are. First one, have you seen enough to make a decision at this point? Second one, how soon would you like to get started? Third, do you feel like this is something that would work for you? Do you feel like this is the answer for you? A good one here that you can really use throughout the entire sales process is the scale of 1 to 10. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you're absolutely certain this is going to work for you, you're ready to pull the trigger right now. 1 being you wouldn't even take it, even if I offered it to you for free and threw in a free back massage. Where do you stand? And they're going to answer whatever the number is, probably going to be between 5 and 8 or 9. Okay, 8, excellent. So what would make it a 10 for you right now? Another one, can you see any reason why you wouldn't move forward with this? And then finally, what do you like best about what you've seen so far today? And so the answer is going to give you an idea on how warm or cold they are, and could also just bring those objections to light, or at least the initial smoke screens that you could start working with, digging into, and then find what the real unspoken objection could be. And the objections are a whole nother video in itself. But wanted to give you these trial closes. These are something that just changes the game for you. It did for me. And it gets you into more real communication with the prospect, which actually builds a better relationship. By not asking these, and they can be kind of hard and awkward to ask at times, then you're not building the relationship that you really need to when it comes to the end of the sale, and there's still issues and you need to help the prospect overcome something, and they need help to do it, but you just don't have that information and they're not willing to share that with you because maybe they haven't even thought about it. Trial closes will help bring all those issues to light. Try it. Let me know how it works out for you.